Ronda Rousey just went off on Vince McMahon in this video. I'm going to tell you exactly what she had to say, because Ronda Rousey, she's been in the company, she's been out of the company, and she knows what it's like to work for Vince McMahon. Now, Ronda Rousey is no longer with WWE, and let's be clear, she won't be back in WWE anytime soon, because she's slated to release her autobiography, Our Fight, in April, and in it, she went off on her former boss. Now, like I said, I don't expect her to come back anytime soon. She's been critical of the promotion in the past. In fact, a few months ago, Rousey sent out a tweet regarding Vince McMahon and Bruce Prichard, giving her thoughts on McMahon's resignation from TKO following the bombshell lawsuit filed against him by former WWE employee Janelle Grant, where she alleged rape, sex trafficking, and a bunch of horrific things. At the time, Rousey noted that she believed that McMahon will still have a say in the business through longtime WWE executive Bruce Prichard, who has been a longtime supporter of McMahon over the years. Because he's still a top executive, he's still in creative, and Vince McMahon, he resigned from TKO as the chairman of the board, following the lawsuit filed against him by Janelle Grant. If we look back at Ronda Rousey's time with WWE, it was very interesting. So she made a name for herself, obviously, in MMA, became a megastar. The UFC transcended the sport, created a women's division for the UFC, and then made the transition to WWE in 2018. She signed with the company in January of that year, made her inaugural / official debut with the company at the Royal Rumble after doing a little tease at WrestleMania 31 in 2015, where she was aligned with The Rock and a little segment with Triple H and Stephanie. Anyway, so she teamed up with Kurt Angle in a mixed tag team match against Triple H Stephanie. One of the best debut matches you'll ever see. She had a phenomenal run that first year in WWE. She feuded with the top stars. She was a babyface. She was a heel. She had a long, lengthy, memorable Raw Women's Championship reign. She departed from the company to start a family after putting over Becky Lynch in a triple threat match that also included Charlotte Flair when the Raw and SmackDown Women's Championships were on the line. First ever women's main event of WrestleMania. It was historic, the reign that she was on. And then she came back and had a very lackluster second run. I'll get into that more in a minute. Now, in the book, she let her feelings known about Vince when she said, "It's hard sometimes when the evil, unethical, slimeball character of Vince played out for the cameras ends and the actual questionable, ethical, many times sued and multiple times accused Vince McMahon begins." She wrote, "The blurred line is a recurring theme within the WWE universe." She wrote, "Pay-per-view events held in major cities like New York, Los Angeles, and Philadelphia, as well as now a twice a year in Saudi Arabia, a nation that restricts the rights of women in a way that I'm certain Vince McMahon wishes he could," end quote. She added, and I quote, "WWE bills itself as a sports entertainment organization, and just like the mainstream entertainment industry, there was all by accounts a casting couch culture where men backstage in powerful positions pressured female talent for favors in return for airtime." Whoa. Rousey's last match with WWE was interesting. Let's break down her comments, though, for a second. That, my friends, is a very, very strong statement to make. Clearly, she's not a fan of Vince McMahon. Clearly, the fact that all these allegations have come out, the fact that she's no longer with the company, and the real intentions of never returning to said company, they are on display. She is not holding back whatsoever, and rightfully so. She should speak her mind the way that she should. The horrific allegations against Vince McMahon if true, and there is a lot of evidence with the text messages and everything alike, it's pretty damning. It really is. If those allegations are true, I hope that the federal prosecutors will go forward with their investigation and file federal criminal charges against him. Because right now he's just dealing with a civil suit. But there are other women with other NDAs in which they believe are null and void because he, just like he did with Janelle Grant, did not pay them in full as part of their NDAs, as part of the hush money. They kept their end of the bargain. He didn't. The fact that he was so greedy and he thought that he could get away with what he did and then get away with breaking the NDAs is psychopathic. It's narcissistic. It is really, really evil. Ronda Rousey's second WWE run sucked. And anyone that would tell you any otherwise is not being true to themselves. And they're certainly not being true to you. Her second run sucked. Yes, she had some moments, but there was never that spark from the moment she returned to the day she left. It was not the same. She was not the same. You could tell based off of her previous comments in between runs that she did not view the business, she did not view the company, she did not view the fans in the same light in which she once did. We're talking about a fan with a massive career in another sport, with a massive following, with a lot of money, making the transition into pro wrestling. She did something that she loved growing up as a kid. And I think that she disliked WWE at the end of it. I think she still loves pro wrestling, but she doesn't like WWE. Thus, when she put over Shayna Baszler, her best friend, in summer of 2023 at SummerSlam, she called it a wrap for her WWE tenure. Now, she did work a match for ROH. She did work a match for a few independents. But right now, she's already told TMZ, look, she's not looking to wrestle. She's focused on her family, promoting this book tour, and etc.